Students, you are able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What we discussed in last class in the PPT, it is not saved.
Voltage gain versus frequency graph.
Yes. That is not saved yesterday. So, frequency response of BJT. So this we were discussing, and this was a diagram. On x-axis it was frequency, in y-axis there is a gain, voltage gain. Okay, so curve was like this. This is our maximum value of the voltage gain, and this frequency is FL, and this frequency is FH. At these frequencies, the voltage gain is 0.707 AV. Okay. So this is mid frequency region. And from here, this side, this is high frequency region. And here, this is low frequency region. Right? And bandwidth is equal to FH minus FL. This FL, this is approximately around 15 hertz, and this FH is approximately around 17 kilohertz. So this is uh, the region between FL and FH is basically your audio frequency region, right? And this bandwidth, approximately you can write it as FH, right? Since FH is greater than FL. Okay. So these things we discussed. Now here uh, there are coupling capacitors, there are bypass capacitors, and there are some internal capacitors in the transistor. Till now you don't know about the internal capacitors. We will discuss about those things later. But these capacitor affects the performance of BJT, right? So the graph, what you are seeing here, this graph is due to the effect of those capacitors. Okay, right. So I will draw one circuit of amplifier. What are the normal circuit which are available for the amplifier? Here this is RC resistor connected to collector. This is RE resistor connected to the emitter, and here there is plus VCC. Now at the input side we have one capacitor, right? We call it as CC1, coupling capacitor number 1, and here we have the source which is to be amplified. So the source resistance is RS, the voltage source which has to be amplified is Vs, and output we will take from here. So here also we will connect one capacitor, that is your coupling capacitor. We call it as CC2, and across RE there is one capacitor, and this is your bypass capacitor, right? We call it as CE, right? And here we connect one load resistor RL, and across this load resistor we will take the output V out. So this is the general diagram for a amplifier circuit. Okay, so in this circuit CC1 and CC2 are coupling capacitors. And CE is bypass capacitor. Right? So the purpose of coupling capacitors is, see, coupling capacitor will stop the DC and it passes the AC. So CC1 and CC2, it will not allow the DC voltage which is there in this transistor circuit, right? So why we have connected this DC voltage source? Anyone can tell? What is the need of this DC voltage source, VCC? Because if you want to amplify something, simply you connect that signal to the transistor, that Vs, and it will amplify. What is the need of VCC here? Why we have connected VCC? Yeah, any idea? Yeah, come up. Some student, tell me whether it is whether you are thinking right or wrong. It does not matter, but you should respond. Why we have connected this VCC here? See, you forgot the things when we discussed about the yeah.
Um, to keep the operator in active region.
Yes, right. When we discuss the biasing, why we do the biasing to a transistor? So that we we fix some operating point, and when we are operating a transistor as an amplifier, then the important parameter is transistor should work in active region, right? Transistor should work in active region. It should work in active region. So if you remember the output characteristic of a transistor, here it is IC, on x-axis it is VCE, right? Some this type of curve you will find, this type of curve, right? So here this is cutoff region, right? And here this region, this is saturation region, right? So this is saturation, right? And this is your cutoff. This is your cutoff. So your transistor should work in this between this region, and this whole is your active. This is your active region. Whole of this is active region. So your transistor should work in the active region. Okay. See, this curve you are getting when IB is having some value. Let us assume 10 microampere. This curve you will get when you are having IB something maybe 15 microampere, right? And this cutoff region you are getting when IB is 0, right? It is then if IB, see here, this is the base. Here you are having IB. So if IB is 0, then transistor, this small amount of current what you are seeing IC, it is due to the minority carrier only. So it is cutoff region. So to make your transistor to operate in active region, because if it will come in cutoff region, then transistor will off, right? So to operate your transistor in active region, you have to do the biasing. Okay, you have to do the biasing so that this is DC load line, so that your operating point should move in this region only. In this region, your operating point should move in this region only. For this, we are using this VCC. So purpose of VCC is only this. Now the signal which you are amplifying, this is your VS signal. So when you apply this VS signal, so let us assume your operating point is here. During the positive cycle of the VS signal, operating point will move up to this side. In the negative cycle, it will move this side. So when it is moving upside and downside, due to biasing, it will not reach to the saturation and it will not reach to the cutoff. This is the purpose of biasing, right? Because if it will reach in cutoff and saturation, then the shape of the amplified signal will be exactly same. Suppose this is your input. This is your input. And if you are amplifying it by using proper DC voltage, you will get this type of amplified signal. But if you have not done proper biasing, then what will happen? There may be chance that you will get some this type of signal. This type, right? So it is not exactly of the same shape of the input. That's why you have connected your DC voltage source. So DC voltage source is required only inside this transistor circuitry, right? It is not required at the output, this final output, and it is not required at the input side. That's why we have used the coupling capacitor, right? So coupling capacitor, what it will do? It will block the DC, right? It will block the DC. It will not allow DC to move towards the output side, or it will not allow this DC to move towards the input side. It will keep the DC in this transistor only, right? So this is the purpose of coupling capacitor. But now if we are using the coupling capacitor, then it will affect the voltage gain, the frequency response, right? It will affect the frequency response. Why it will affect the frequency response, and in which region it will affect the frequency response, right? In frequency response curve, you find there are three regions. One is low frequency region, second is mid frequency region, and third is high frequency region, right? So there are three regions. So in which region these capacitors will affect the operation of your amplifier. Okay, right. So first we will see effect of coupling capacitors. Right. So this is, see, this explanation is very important to understand why the frequency response curve of a BJT is like this. Frequency response with respect to voltage gain. Why the curve is like this? To understand this, what we are discussing today is important, right? Okay. So in this, the first point. Hello. I am in the class. हाँ, Pavani meeting है. I am in the class. I will attend. She sent the link in WhatsApp group. Okay, after the class I will attend. I will join. So first point we can write, the coupling capacitors are used in amplifiers to block DC, right? To block DC part of signal, right? And to allow AC part of signal, right? So this is the important part, or important thing for the use of coupling capacitor, right? So allow the AC part of the signal means to pass the signal from the to pass the AC signal from the input side to the transistor. This is the AC signal here, Vs. So it allows the AC signal to pass to the input of the transistor for the amplification. After this CC2, it allows the amplified AC signal to pass through it and reach to the output. So this is the important task of the coupling capacitors, right? Okay. Already we know that reactance of capacitor. Reactance of capacitor is given by Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc, right? So that is your Xc is inversely proportional to frequency, right? So if the frequency increase, then the capacitive reactance will decrease and vice versa, right? So now here the capacitive reactance increases with the decrease in frequency, right? So and high frequency it will having more capacitance, right? So now if you see here in this frequency response, see this region from mid frequency region towards the high frequency region, right? Here the frequency is somewhat higher as compared to the low frequency region, right? So now if we are having higher frequency, then the coupling capacitor offers high resistance or low resistance. If we are having high frequency, or you just see in low frequency region, if you compare the capacitive reactance of a capacitor in low frequency region and mid frequency region, so where you will find the low resistance, low reactance of a capacitor? If frequency is more, then reactance will be less, right? So as compared to the low frequency region, as compared to this region, I am talking about this region, you just see the mid frequency region. So in mid frequency region, you will find the the capacitive reactance of a capacitor is low, and in high frequency region, it is further low, right? Okay. So now next point, coupling capacitors offer very low resistance, very low resistance in mid frequency region, in mid frequency and high frequency. Regions. Right? So they do not have any effect in mid and high frequency region, right? So they can be considered as a short circuit, right? So they can be considered as they can be as short circuit. Why it is not looking like this? So you got this point? Means you just see here. RL and here V out. So we are talking about C coupling capacitor number 1 and coupling capacitor number 2, right? So now you just see we are talking about mid frequency region and high frequency region. So in these regions, since the frequency is higher, it is higher than the low frequency region, right? So since the frequency is high, therefore, by seeing this expression, Xc is inversely proportional to 1 by F, inversely proportional to F. So at mid frequency region and high frequency region, the resistance offered by a capacitor is less, right? And it can be considered as a short circuit, right? It can be considered as a short circuit. So I have replaced here capacitor by a short circuit. Here also it is short circuit. So now what will happen? Across short circuit, do you find any voltage drop?
No, sir.
No. So whatever is the V in, or whatever is the voltage which we want to amplify, it will pass through this short circuit capacitor without any drop here, right? So as a whole, you will find all the voltage enters inside the transistor, okay? And this transistor will amplify that signal due to its amplification property. Then whatever output is generated by this transistor, amplified output, it again passes through the coupling capacitor number 2, right? Again, since we are operating our transistor amplifier at mid frequency region and high frequency region, so you find that this coupling capacitor is also short, right? So there is no voltage drop across this short coupling capacitor number 2. So you will find whole output is available at the final output across the load resistor RL, right? So what you can conclude here, at mid frequency and at high frequency, right? These capacitors does not affect the voltage gain, right? So now you see in this diagram, there is mid frequency region, there is no effect of CC1 and CC2, right? There is no effect of the CC1 and CC2. But now you see the high frequency region, this region, you see this region, right? There is drop in the voltage gain. There is drop in the voltage gain. Now this drop is due to coupling capacitor or not? You just tell me. This drop at higher frequency, whether it is due to the coupling capacitor?
No, sir.
No, it is not due to coupling capacitor. Something else is there which is causing this drop at the high frequency, right? And what is that something? That is the internal capacitors that we will discuss afterward. But one thing you just remember, in mid frequency region, the gain is almost constant. There is no drop. But in the high frequency region, the voltage gain drops. If you increase the frequency of the operation, then the voltage gain drops. So this drop is not due to the coupling capacitors. Okay. So one thing you can conclude here, in mid frequency region and high frequency region, the coupling capacitors acts as a short circuit, right? They acts as a short circuit, and it will not affect the voltage gain, right? Okay. Now you see, in low frequency region, now see, in low frequency region, frequency is less, right? So if frequency is less, then due to this expression, you will have this coupling capacitors will have some resistances at the low frequency, right? So in low frequency region, coupling capacitors. Hello. Namaskar, sir. Sir, namaskar, sir. Hello. Okay. So in low frequency region, the coupling capacitors offers some resistance, right? They will offer some resistance. So if you see this diagram, it will look like this. It is XCC1 due to coupling capacitor 1. This is the source internal resistance. This is the voltage source which we want to amplify. Like this. Here we have RL. Here we take V out, and this is the resistance, capacitive reactance offered due to CC2. Right? You will get this type of circuit. So now whatever is the Vs across this capacitor, there will be some voltage drop. Right? There is some voltage drop. So less amount of input will enter in this. Whatever is the amplified output, again that amplified output will drop across this capacitive reactance of coupling capacitor number 2. So final output will be less, right? So at low frequency region, what is happening? Coupling capacitor offers some resistance, and there is drop. There is drop of voltage, right? Therefore voltage gain drops in low frequency region. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
So in low frequency region, whatever drop you are seeing here, right? This drop, whatever drop you are seeing here, it is due to the coupling capacitors. Okay? Why? Because at the lower frequency, the coupling capacitors will offer some reactance, and due to that, there is a drop of the voltage across those capacitors, and it will affect the voltage gain. But at the higher frequency here, this voltage is this gain is also dropping. This drop is not due to the coupling capacitors. Something else is there, right? Okay. Okay, so I stop here. From here we will continue.